Hi Taurus, this is Amanda Nardozzi. This reading is going to be for April 15th to April 21st. Today's spread is going to be that similar to a tree. So we're going to start from the base, we're going to work our way up, we're going to go into the leaves, and then we're going to focus on spiritual growth. That being said, let's get started. Okay, so you'll have a lot of swords energy here. There's a lot of energy around thoughts and the mind going on. And it's a lot of feeling trapped in your own mind, because I see with the Eight of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Page of Swords. So you're working through. It's like you're working through something in the mind, turning it over. This is kind of like that. This is kind of like that imagery that's been coming up a lot in some readings that I've been doing, where you have a stone and you're turning it over again and again, and you're looking at the same rock. You're trying to look at it from different angles, and it's not working. The more you look at it, this same result is going to come about just by turning it over and looking at it. So the Eight of Swords is kind of being trapped in the mind, being locked in these mental cycles of thinking the same thing, ruminating, worrying. The Five of Swords indicates it's almost like you feel like you need to take measures to protect yourself with the Five of Swords, because the Five of Swords to me indicates external conflict. So you could be feeling like you're clashing with others. Whether or not this is actually the case may just all be in the mind. It doesn't really seem to, Spirit doesn't really seem to be getting whether this situation is actually present, whether you are kind of arguing with someone else or whether there are tensions with someone else. But there's this energy of like fighting this external force, or thinking that you're fighting this external force. It's either leading or stemming from this Eight of Swords mentality of feeling like the world is against you when it's actually not, or you actually do find yourself in situations with other people combating you right now. But either way, you have the Page of Swords, and what you are meant to do from this is you're meant to learn from it. So for whatever reason, Spirit's actually drawing attention. This is the base of the tree. This is the stuff that we're meant to work through and operate through, sort of. So like with the Eight of Swords, it's stemming from the Five of Swords. Or no, sorry, the Five of Swords is stemming from the Eight of Swords. And it almost feels like these two are... It almost like, it's not really like running parallel or that they're opposites of one another, but it almost feels like these two things are like both sides of the same coin, and that you're meant to learn from it and grow from it. But it's almost like you're learning to be a master of the mind. The page is a forever student, regardless of what suit you find the page in. They're a forever student and they are learning. So it's almost like you're learning to manage your mind. So it's almost like, even though if you have this scenario where there are other people coming at you, Taurus, with their words, with their thoughts, with their opinions that clash with your own, it does almost feel like, you're learning to not limit yourself based on what they think. And if this is kind of like your own perspective shadowing the rest of your relationships and feeling like people are coming at you when they're not, then this is learning to master your mind. Either way, you are learning to take better care of your mind and trying to have better thought patterns. Let's see what's growing from this tree. You have the Page of Swords twice. Because I'm pulling from the Tarot of Dragons for this deck. So as we're going up the bark, we have the Sire of Cups, which is akin to the King of Cups in the traditional tarot. This is calm heart. I always say it's calm heart, calm mind. So even though there's raging waters around you, the emotions are untampered. It's almost like you're out at sea kind of coasting, even though there's lots of rough waters, because he is unaffected. He's on an island. He's actually unaffected by all of these rough waters around him. And he's actually in a position to teach the younger generation, or teach someone else his emotional intelligence, to teach someone else how to maintain this even emotional stature. You also have the, like, this is almost like the person that you're growing into. Ooh, it was really loud. Someone's angry. This is like the person that you're growing into. What's stemming from this, that's the person that you're becoming. This, the Page of Swords here, this is generating ideas. So this is actually, again, you have the Page of Swords twice. This is like a learning process. As you are slowly turning into, you're becoming like a better version of yourself by working through your mind, and you're turning things over. But it's almost like you get tired of doing that. And I'm hearing like Spirit say, stop doing that, stop doing that. But it's almost like as you stop turning things over in your mind, and as you stop like indulging in the same thoughts again and again, It's almost like these new, fresh ideas come in. We see a butterfly on this card, and a butterfly is a symbol of transformation. And that's what I feel you are heading into, is like the more, like, less of the mastering, because as you are mastering, you are letting in room for new ideas to emerge, which makes you feel more at peace inwardly. So you have the Nine of Pentacles. This is basically just a journey of finding your peace, Taurus. The Nine of Pentacles is about having basically all they want in the material world. The Knight of Pentacles traditionally means just kind of walking through the garden. We see the woman in the traditional tarot. She's taking care of herself. She's taking her garden. She's watering her garden. She might have a section of her garden where she can give to others, but only because she has taken care of her own garden. So that is, I feel, something that you are learning, is that your own independence, your independent thought, your freedom of thought, that is something that you're learning. That is something that you're growing into, and you will eventually come into that. Just embrace, kind of like stepping into that, letting go and letting certain ideas rest. That may be regardless of whether someone is combating your ideas or not, whether someone keeps trying to bring you down, simply trying to see that they don't really have true power over you. Because true power is all in the mind. It's only going to happen if you let it happen. You have goblins, which is basically the same thing what I've been saying. This is like one of the many leaves of the tree as we're branching into the oracle cards here. The goblins are talking about having a bunch of naysayers around you and being unsure of what to make of them. These could be goblins in your own mind, goblins around you. It's basically the same message, but I'm hearing spirit say mentality. So it does fall into the mentality that they want to talk about, but it's almost like you're meeting your demons, you're befriending them, and then you are letting them pass through. So for some people, and just as I said that, I don't know if you saw, the flame actually went out. So I guess that candle is done. But synchronistically, you're also kind of extinguishing them because you're not giving those goblins as much power anymore. You also have slow and steady. This is a slow and steady process in the tarot. Like the Temperance card is coming to mind. This is having patience. So understanding that this is not an overnight process. You will be successful with this endeavor. It just takes time. Please go slowly. This is something that, like, you can't wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden, like, be your own friend. You know, this is you learning to be your own friend and listen to yourself as you've listened to others. Okay, this is learning to value yourself as much as you value other people. So you need to take your time in understanding that you have your power, because it is not an overnight journey. You also have Eye of the Needle, intentionality. So it's almost like Spirit wants to see more effort from you in this. I know that we're trying hard, and I'm hearing like we see that you're giving your best. But it almost feels like the energy is very scattered. So it's all like your energy is like throwing out in all different places. They want you to focus on one, like bring all your energy back to you and focus on one particular thing. Because it's not that you're not trying. And it's like, Spirit's like, we see that you're trying and we see that you're not giving up. We see that you're trying to change for the better and that you recognize and want to change for the better. Like you want to stop turning things over in your mind. You want to, like, because it's almost like you recognize, or you are recognizing that it's stopping your manifesting potential, or that is at least slowing it down a lot. So they're like, the best way to move forward is this intentionality of taking all of this scattered energy, all of these thoughts that you're putting in all these locations, and starting to try to focus on one particular thought that you would like to adopt as like a normal, or like kind of like a healthy, they want you to focus on one healthy behavior pattern or one healthy thought pattern. Usually those things go hand in hand. The more, like, you know, our behaviors can affect our thoughts and vice versa. So actually moving things around in your environment, like with intentionality, it is like so important. For whatever reason, that word is sticking out, and they are echoing it strongly back to me of like, we need your intention. Like it's something that, like, you can't change everything at the same time, so focus on one thing at a time. If you are hurt by something that somebody has said, simply removing yourself from the situation helps you feel like you have some semblance of power back, because you are quite literally not putting up with it anymore, and you're like, I'm just going to walk away from this situation, or I'm going to come back to myself at least for a while. This doesn't have to be a cut it and dry, like cut it, walk away and done type of situation, because life is more complicated than that. Sometimes we work with the people, sometimes we have like family members, like it's difficult. Sometimes these people are in our lives for the long haul, whether we like it or not, but we always have more power than we think we do. So keep that in mind. But focusing your efforts and energy on one particular thing that can change helps ease this burden a little bit more and helps this transformation happen a little bit more productively than maybe it has been. You also have deep, quiet meditation and stillness. I'm hearing like wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. So they want you to connect. They want you to come back to yourself a little bit more. This is quite literally, but anytime I pull this card, it is meditation. For some of you, nope. Sometimes it also means sleep, but Spirit's like, nope, this is straight up meditation. This is like needing to communicate with your spiritual guides. This is mainly just connecting with yourself, your higher self. I do feel like for a lot of you, it's not just your guides. Like the main message, like as I'm speaking to the guides, this like they need to practice. Like they keep talking to the guides and we're answering them, but they need to start putting value in connecting with their higher self. It's all source, it's all one, it's all love, but your higher self, like it definitely has a different energy than spirit guides. So if there's like a guided meditation or something that you can do to reach your higher self, but like their higher self is with us. We are one with our higher self. We just need to connect with that part because we have that strongest link to our higher self. But it almost feels, yeah, it feels like you are the one that you need to listen to the most. Let's see what other leaves we have on this tree of growth. Anything else that could help us? Anything unexpected? Any blessings? Any surprises? Anything extra we need to know for our Taurus friends? By the book. So look, it's interesting because I said like any blessings, and then you got the blessed card. So you truly are a blessed individual. You have a lot of things at your disposal. You have a lot of issues present, yes, but it's almost like these things can be healed. And then it's almost like you have so many golden areas in your life. I see lots of different aspects of your life shining, whether it be like love, career, something. Like I see different parts of your life or different things that would bring you joy or bring you happiness. Like you have a lot of those avenues. And it's almost like, you know, it is that energy of feeling blessed, or that this being a blessed time. Oh, wow. Okay. Can I also say that you have angel numbers all over the board? Like, first of all, you got the Page of Swords twice. Like, you have the Page of Swords twice. You have Deep Quiet, which is an 11 card, which is a master number. You have By the Book, which is an 11 card. You have Blessed, which is the 22 card. And then you have like 17 and 12 here as well. So you have more ones and twos, but you got ones all over the place. So I don't know, man, but it looks like Spirit's really shouting at you on this one. You have By the Book. By the Book talks about, again, this is one of those things where taking your time. This is that slow and steady card. This is kind of like echoes of that, but it's also doing things the traditional path. So, you know, potentially if you're somebody that has access to therapy, if you have the resources to do so, it's almost like that is the traditional route of reworking the mind. So cognitive behavioral therapy, that would be one of them, or like following an actual like self-help workbook or reading a self-help book. Like one of those things almost feels like, you know, if you follow the book, or if you follow the worksheets or the guidelines, or if you follow the exercises that you're given or that you read about, then you can actively make these changes. You just have to give it a chance. And again, prioritize. I'm hearing some of the issue is just, you know, it's just prioritizing it. So if it helps you, getting a book and actually following along, even if it's at your local library, just finding something to follow along with, just to get some type of change through the door. Spirit's like, just start working on it and we will take care of the rest. It's almost like you will get inspiration. That Page of Swords, you're going to get new ideas. It's not like you have to think about the world in a very specific way. This isn't like receding your individuality at all. It almost feels like this is something that like is it'll become your own. Sorry, there's like a lot of construction in the background and I'm just now noticing. I'm like, what is going on? I think they're fixing my street. But yeah, check the spirituality section. If you check the self-help or psychology section, there are so many different things that can help. But I feel like for whatever reason, this is the type of crowd that I'm talking to that might only read like the first chapter or two of the book and then be like, okay, I'm done. But just follow through and see what happens. Because I feel like after the first few chapters of actively trying to implement them, I do feel like you will notice some spiritual changes. Like it's almost like your guides will give you advice like along the way, or like you will start this Page of Swords is going to start happening as you're following along with this book. Like I'm seeing change happening already by chapter like 2 or 3, or like once you're like have like a small portion of the book done. I'm getting like a very specific thing of like you will grow, or you will get what you need within the first few chapters. So some of you might not need to read the whole book, but just an idea. But it does feel like for a lot of you that seems to be the path here. Oh well, you have three extra cards. I pulled 2 cards when I meant to pull 1, so ta-da! You have Live Your Joy. Thank you, angels, for supporting me as I follow my joy. This is literally what we were just talking about. This is, you have avenues of sunlight that are coming in from different angles and different directions. I do see different avenues of your life bringing you joy, so indulging in those, focusing on those, and recognizing when that light sees you, when that love fills you up from the things that you're doing, like the universe loves you that much to be able to help you feel that way. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to get at here, but it feels kind of like you notice that you're deserving when you receive it, almost. And that some people might not always feel that way, but like when I think about my love for plants, for example, because y'all have seen all of my plants, you know, like you've seen in my videos, like I have a whole jungle back here, and actually the camera doesn't even pan to all of them. I have more downstairs in the basement under a grow light. But when I am working with plants, I feel so blessed to be able to take care of them. Like I feel so blessed to have them. I feel so blessed that I actually started watching gardening care videos and following the TikToks and all of this other stuff. I'm glad that I learned it because I actually take really good care of them. But I've learned that over time, you know, and it's something that just brings me joy. So whether I'm good at it or not, like there's an energy of feeling very full from it. And it was through plant care that it's almost like I gained some individuality in that too. And I'm like, oh, I am a plant person. Like it almost adds to my identity in a sense. And I'm like, I'm a plant person. I love plants, and the way that they grow with me, like they love me. And some of them have been with me for a few years now. So that being said, even if it's not specifically a plant hobby that you have, connecting with something that you love. For some of you, it's something like video games or like certain TV shows that you fall in love with that universe. For some of you, it's fan fiction. For some of you, it's, like for some of you, it's sewing. For some of you, it's going out and talking to people or meeting people. For some of you, it's your daily walks. You know, when you get that fulfilling feeling, when you get that happiness, you start recognizing your worth, or like you notice the universe has given me such joy through this one particular thing. So because they have given it to me, I must be deserving of it. Like it feels, and that's not really a good mentality to hold for like everything that happens to you, but it's almost like, I don't know. I like to think about where I came from, and you know, I feel like I've improved my life drastically from where I was at originally in life. So it feels really good to have earned this way, to have come this way, to feel joy from this way, because I'm like, in a way, this when I receive all of this love, I feel like I've succeeded in some way. Because I'm like, yes, that makes me feel worth it because I've earned it. Anyway, that's a whole conversation for another time. But you have balance and you have spiritual abundance. So you're feeling spiritual. You have like a lot of spiritual support. It's almost like you have an abundance of spiritual connections around you at this time, sort of helping you along on this journey. So this is why it's actually important to get your mind in check, because if you're a psychic like me, then you need to have a strong mind if you're going to be like a medium or a psychic or anything like that. And that's just because, like, you know, you pick up whatever you tune into. We attract the things that we tune into. So that being said, if you're tuning into a lot of negative thoughts, then you might hear or feel a lot of negative things, which makes a lot of sense, right? But the same thing works for psychically, like the link to psychic information that you pick up. You could feel that ickiness from other people, and you want to start picking up the joy, right? The joy, the love, the unconditional beings on the other side. Those are the types of things you want to connect to. And balance. Thank you, angels, for bringing me balance to my life. So getting lost in your thoughts is sometimes very difficult because it is not it's not productive. Obviously, it's not conducive to our environment. So just needing to gain more balance, and sometimes getting out of your head and actually doing the things that you've put on the back burner for a while, that alone is growth. That alone makes you feel good. So if you find yourself stuck and, you know, ruminating or sitting around and like focusing or like I don't know, talking about like this combative nature of somebody else, or like feeling stuck in your life. Just getting up and actively doing something and not thinking about it for a while gets you out of your head, and already it breaks the spell is what I'm hearing. It breaks the spell. So just getting up and actively participating in your environment is a huge help. Where did my book go? Oh, here it is. Lastly, we're pulling from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray. I rolled some dice for you. You have 882. The journey you are on wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for those who lift you up. Angel Wisdom is encouraging you to share love and gratitude with those who have supported you this far. One more time. The journey you are on wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for those who lift you up. Angel Wisdom is encouraging you to share love and gratitude with those who have supported you this far. That being said, Taurus, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have an amazing week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all the things. Follow what I'm doing. And I love you. I love you. I love you. See you next time. Bye.